Welcome to Khizare Choktai School of Advanced Chemistry.
Electrochemical cells. There are two types of electrochemical cells. Number one, electrolytic cell. Number two, dry cell, or sometimes it is known as wet cell. An electrolytic cell basically a cell that perform electrolysis. What is electrolysis? Decomposition of electrolyte or electrolytic solution by the passage of electric current, that is DC current, direct current, is known as electrolysis. An electrolytic cell is, it consists of a container an electrolyte. What is an electrolyte? Electrolyte must be a liquid. Number two, it must have free opposite ions. These are the two prerequisites for an electrolyte. Two electrodes dipped into the electrolyte. Electrodes. What are electrodes? Electrodes are the plates, usually metallic plate, but they may be of non-metal like graphite. A plate which carries electricity into the liquid is known as electrode. One electrode is known as anode. Anode is connected to the positive terminal of the battery. Other electrode is known as cathode, that is connected to the negative terminal of the battery. Symbolically, larger line represents the anode and smaller line represents the cathode. So this is cathode and this rod has become now anode. So the nature of cathode and anode depends on the terminals of the battery. The rod which is connected to the negative terminal is known as cathode. A rod that is connected to the positive terminal of the battery, that is direct current source DC battery, is known as anode. Sometimes we apply ammeter to check the amount of current, magnitude of current, and we also apply a rheostat, that is a variable resistance, to keep the constant current into the container. So this is the general arrangement of an electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell basically perform electrolysis. There are two types of electrolysis. Number one, molten electrolysis, and number two, aqueous electrolysis. Now come towards the molten electrolysis. As the word indicates, molten means melted electrolyte. For example, when a sodium chloride, a solid, ionic solid, when it is heated, it melts down and it makes sodium positive liquid ion and Cl negative liquid ion in the container. When current is passed or is switched on with the help of two electrodes, then ions run towards the different electrode. Negative ions run toward positive electrode, and positive ion move towards the negative electrode. So positive electrode, that is known as anode. This is the positive electrode, and here oxidation occurs. Cl negative ions, chloride ion in this case, chloride ion will migrate towards anode and they will make Cl atom and there is a loss of 1 mole of electron. Similarly, other Cl negative ion that also will come to the anode and lose 1 electron to make one other atom of Cl. These two atoms of the chlorine meet together to make a stable species that is known as chlorine gas. So overall reaction is 2 mole of Cl negative ion will approach to the anode and there is formation of Cl2 gas and loss of 2 moles of electron. Same is the case, sodium ion will move towards cathode as a negative terminal where reduction occurs. In this case, in this experiment, there we have the molten NaCl. Sodium ion, sodium positive liquid ion will approach to the cathode and receive 2 mole of electron. The quantity that has been lost will be received by the sodium ion and they will make 2 mole of sodium solid. This sodium solid will be deposited, it can be seen on the cathode material. In this whole procedure, electrodes are inert electrode. Usually we use graphite or platinum as an inert electrode. So if I'm using inert electrode and the electrolyte is sodium chloride, that is molten sodium chloride, then the outcomes will be sodium solid will appear at cathode and Cl2 gas will come out at anode. Overall reaction will be sodium positive liquid ions, 2 mole of sodium positive ion, 2 mole of Cl negative ion, liquid Cl negative ion meet together to make 2 mole of sodium solid and 1 mole of chlorine gas. So ions are changed into the pure elements with the help of electrolysis. This is the electrolysis of molten electrolyte. Now come towards aqueous electrolyte. In aqueous electrolysis, as the name indicates, aqueous means there is the presence of water molecules. Aqueous solution may be dilute solution or they may be concentrated solution. In case of dilute, that means there is more water. In case of concentrated solution, less amount of water will be there. For example, we have aqueous solution of aqueous dilute solution of NaCl, that is written as NaCl aqueous. Let's suppose we have electrolyte aqueous dilute NaCl. Once again, our container, electrolyte, 2 inert electrode. Usually we use graphite electrodes. These are cheaper, relatively cheaper electrodes. Positive terminal, anode, and this is the negative terminal that is known as, in this case, cathode. But it is not necessary that every time cathode may be a negative terminal. It may be a positive terminal, especially in dry cells. I would like to tell you the movement of electron. In this case, the movement electron is basically from positive to negative terminal. Overall, the movement of electron is from positive to negative terminal. This is movement or direction of electron. Okay, let's suppose once again we have dilute NaCl electrolyte in the beaker and we are going to perform electrolysis. Now come towards when sodium chloride solid is dissolved into the aqueous medium, there is formation of sodium aqueous ion plus Cl negative aqueous ion plus H positive aqueous ion and OH negative aqueous ion. So there are 4 type of different species, different ions in the container. Sodium ions, H positive ion, Cl negative ion and OH negative ion. There are 4 type of ions in the container. When current is switched on to the container or when electrodes are immersed into this container, let's suppose when we introduce 2 type of electrodes, one may be positive and other may be negative electrode. Then positive ion will run towards the negative electrode that is known as cathode. There is another name of cathode that is known as electron shock. A terminal that provides electron to the beaker is known as cathode. This is a general definition. I called it electron shock. And this is anode. So sodium positive ion and H positive ion will run towards negative electrode to receive the electron, but only one will gain the electron first. When concentration of the one winner ion come to an end, then runner-up ions move to capture the electron. Same as the case, Cl negative ion and OH negative ion will run towards positive electrode, that is anode, to lose the electron. But only one will be the winner. So, who is going to be winner at anode? Let's see the story or history of anode. Anode is a positive terminal. In this case, an oxidation occurs at anode. There is a competition between 2 negative ions. One is chloride ion and other one is hydroxide ion. Who is going to be winner? I'm going to tell you the checklist method. If your solution is dilute, if your solution contain sulfate ions, if your solution contain nitrate ions. Dilute solution in case of sulfate solution or in case of nitrate solution or nitrate ions. The winner will be OH negative aqueous ion. There is one exception. The exception is dilute hydrochloric acid. Dilute HCl. Let's see it again. Once again, come toward the checklist. Check your solution is dilute, or it contains sulfate ion, or it contains nitrate ion. Then OH negative ion will be the winner ion. When OH negative ion will approach to the anode, the reaction will be 4 OH negative ion aqueous goes to 2 mole of H2O, 1 mole of oxygen, and 4 mole of electron will be lost. You have to learn this equation by heart. It's very much essential to learn this equation. So, in case of dilute solution, if your electrolyte contains sulfate ion, if your electrolyte contains nitrate ions, then in these three options, in these three conditions, OH ion will be the winner ion and OH ion will approach the anode to make H2O to form oxygen and 4 moles of electrons. So, in this case, in this death phase, OH negative ion will decrease with the capacitor. Otherwise, if your solution is not dilute, if there are no sulfate ions, if there are no nitrate ion, then the winner ion will be Cl negative ion. So in this case, generally 2Cl negative ion will go towards anode. They will lose 2 mole of electron and they will form finally chlorine gas. When your solution is concentrated, then the answer at anode or the reaction at anode will be 2Cl negative ion aqueous goes to 2 mole of electron plus Cl2. What is the reason behind it? Basically, according to the electrochemical series of negative ion, I am going to write electrochemical series of the negative ions over here. OH negative ion is more powerful, leaving behind the gap. Nitrate ion is more powerful than sulfate ion, and at the last, the least power will be shown by the fluoride. Here I am going to place fluoride. This is a general electrochemical series of dischargedness of negative ions. If a solution contains all these 5 type of ions, the most powerful ion that will go to the anode and lose electron is OH negative ion. The second powerful ion will be Cl negative ion. When the concentration of Cl negative ion will cease, then nitrate ion will approach to the anode. Similarly, at 4th position sulfate ion and the 5th position will be of fluoride ion. So this is the reactivity series or electrochemical series or preferential dischargeness. This ion is of highest reactivity and this ion is of lowest reactivity. So what is the reason of your choice? When OH ion is winner, simply it means it is according to the electrochemical series. Here is the competition between OH negative ion and Cl negative ion. And OH is winner, it is according to the reactivity series. It is according to the law. It's obvious that OH negative ions are more reactive than Cl negative ion. But in case of when Cl ion are going to discharge at anode, there is only one reason, that could be only one reason as far as your syllabus is concerned, that they are in high concentration. When Cl negative ions are in high concentration, then Cl negative ion will go and discharge and lose their electron to make Cl2 gaseous. Basically, there are 3 factors. Those can change the nature of these outcomes. Number 1, nature of electrode, inert or non-inert. It depends upon inert and non-inert nature. The second one is relative concentration of ions. Relative concentration of different ions of the competitor ions. And the third one is position of ion. Position of ion in electrochemical series. This one. So these are basically three factors. Those govern the different type of possible product those are being made at anode or at cathode. Simply, these are three major factors. Okay, now come to the next one. For example, I am going to electrolyze dilute zinc sulfate. First of all, I am going to make an equation. ZnSO4 solid, when it is allowed to dissolve into the aqueous medium, there is a possibility of formation of zinc 2 positive ion, sulfate 2 negative ion, H positive ion and OH negative ion. Once again, four type of ions are there. First of all, I am going to write the equation at anode. I think it is wise to write the equation of anode first. You know, always oxidation occur at anode. Who is going to be the winner? Come towards our checklist. Checklist: dilute, sulfate and nitrate. Come toward the statement of the question. There is a dilute. Yes. There are sulfate ions. Yes. No nitrate ion. Even single tick is there in front of in these three boxes. Simply it means your winner is OH negative ion. So at anode, the winner will be OH negative ion, hydroxide ion, and equation will be 4 OH negative ion goes to 2 mole of H2O plus 4 mole of electron plus 1 mole of oxygen. This is the equation, appropriate equation, main equation of the reaction that is happening at anode. In case of dilute HCl, that I told you, that is an exceptional case. Dilute HCl. How many different type of ions will be there? H positive ion from acid, Cl negative ion from acid, H positive ion from water and OH negative ion from water as well. Once again, according to the checklist, it is dilute. Yes, there are no sulfate ion and there are no nitrate ion. No nitrate ions. But there is a one checklist. There is dilute. But in this case, one special, there is exceptional case HCl. In this case, please don't include this dilute. Don't include dilute in case of HCl. So there is no tick in your checklist. In this case, once again, Cl negative ion will be the winner. No doubt there is no hard and fostered boundary between the dilute and the concentrated solution. Even then, the appropriate answer will be 2 Cl negative ion will go towards anode. First of all, I am going to write direction at anode and they will lose 2 mole of electron and there is a formation of Cl2 gas. That arrow means there is a formation of a gas. That is usually, this arrow is usually drawn for the insoluble gases. Right. So that was the case of dilute HCl. Still, we are practicing the reaction at anode. Another example, let's suppose concentrated solution of CuNO3, that is copper nitrate solution. Once again, our concentrated solution of the copper nitrate will contain Cu2 positive ion, NO3 1 negative ion, that will be 2 mole with respect to 1 mole of copper ion. The next one is H positive ion from water and OH negative ion from water as well. Once again, I'm going to apply my checklist: dilute, sulfate, and nitrate. There is no dilute solution, that is a concentrated solution. There are no sulfate ions, but there are nitrate ions. So in case of nitrate and sulfate, winner will be OH negative ion. Simply it means, once again, due to the presence of the nitrate ion have the very much low or poor reactivity in the reactivity series. So once again, the winner will be OH negative ion. And anode, first write the equation at anode. Anode is a positive terminal where oxidation occur, and here 4 OH negative ion will go to make 2 mole of H2O liquid water and 1 mole of oxygen and 4 moles of electron. That is the basic reaction that is happening at anode, or that will happen at anode in case of concentrated copper nitrate. I hope you will be very much familiar, you will be very much easy now as far as how to write the equation at anode, how to predict the outcomes at anode, and so on. And this is the electrochemical series of dischargeness, that is also known as preferential dischargeness or selective dischargeness. Now come towards the cathode. For cathode, we must know about the reactivity series. I'm going to draw the reactivity series of the few elements. For example, potassium, sodium, calcium, magnesium, aluminium, zinc, iron, tin, lead, hydrogen, copper, Hg, Au, aurum, and platinum. So this is the reactivity series. I'm dividing this reactivity series into basically 3 parts. These are the elements from group 1, group 2, and group 3. These 4 elements are from the, you can say these are 2 from group 4, and these 2 are from the transition metal period, transition metal line. So these are also transition elements. Usually they also contain transition. So there are basically 3 compartments. The first compartment, this compartment, I'm going to color it with the yellow one. This yellow compartment, that is no doubt there are very much highly reactive elements, but their ions are least reactive. Metals are highly reactive, but their ions are least reactive. These are highly reactive, highest reactive metal. And this one is the lowest reactive. But as far as the reactivity of the ions is concerned, it is reciprocal to the reactivity of the metal. Once again, I'm going to tell you a simple technique. Compartment of these group 3 elements up to group 1, group 2 and group 3 element, they cannot go, their ions cannot approach to the cathode if water is present. The winner will be water. The winner will be H positive ion. Against potassium ion, sodium ion, calcium ion, magnesium ion, and aluminium ion. So these three positive ions are not enough strong to receive the electron as compared to water. The winner will be water, mean winner will be H positive ion. Now come towards the middle compartment. Here are basically, as you have to remember, just only 4 ions. Zinc ion, iron ions, it may be 2 or 3 positive, tin ion, 2 positive, let's suppose, lead ions also 2 positive. These ions will be winner only in case of concentrated solution. If these ions are in high magnitude, in high concentration, then they will be winner. They will go and receive the electron. Otherwise, once again, water or H positive ion will be the winner. They can receive the electron only. There is only one situation, there is only one condition, if they are in high concentration. Otherwise, once again, water will be the winner, or you can say H positive ion will be the winner. Now come toward the last department, that is I'm going to highlight it with a green pen. Ions of this compartment, copper ion, mercury ion, aurum ion, and platinum ion, they will go itself. Water cannot be winner. H positive ion cannot go to receive the electron if any ion from this compartment is present in the solution. So they are always winner. You can say they are always loser. And middle compartment will be the winner when they are in high concentration. If in case of dilute, if the solution is dilute, once again winner will be H2O. Now come towards a simple example that we are going to electrolyze the concentrated solution of zinc sulfate. Once again come towards how many different type of ions will be there. Zinc 2 positive, sulfate 2 negative, H positive from water side, and OH negative also from the water molecules. So the first thing is, now I'm going to check what is happening at cathode, the reaction at cathode. Cathode is basically a negative terminal where a reduction occurs. At cathode, there is a competition between zinc 2 positive ion and H positive ion. Zinc is present in the middle compartment, and you know solution is concentrated, so winner will be zinc. These zinc ion, iron ion, tin ion, and lead ion, these 4 ions will be winner if they are in high concentration. So zinc 2 positive will approach first the cathode. Zinc 2 positive ion will receive 2 mole of electron, and it will deposit as a silvery gray metal on the cathode. Come towards another example. Let's suppose we have concentrated solution of magnesium nitrate. So once again check the total type of ions over there. Magnesium ions, nitrate ions, H positive ion, and OH negative ion. As you know, now we are going to check the outcomes at cathode. So come towards, there is a competition between magnesium 2 positive ion and H positive ion. Magnesium is present in this first compartment, yellow compartment you can say as well. And I told you they all are loser in all options. In case of concentrated, in case of dilute, in all cases, magnesium has no power to gain the electron whenever it is in competition with H positive ion. So in this case, magnesium is loser and H positive ion will be the winner ion. So H positive ion, 2 mole of H positive ion will receive 2 mole of electron to make 1 mole of hydrogen gas at cathode. Alright. Now examiner will ask the reason of your choice. Why H positive ion is sometime winner and sometimes the magnesium ion is winner? The simplest answer is, the reason of your choice is hydrogen ions are more reactive than magnesium ions, or H2 element is less reactive than magnesium in reactivity series. You can report these two type of reason. Hydrogen ions are more reactive ions than magnesium 2 positive aqueous ions, or we can also write over here H2 is the less reactive element than magnesium in the reactivity series. These two are appropriate reason for as a reason of your choice. And if you are going against the reactivity series, the otherwise reason will be the reason of concentration. Why zinc, iron, tin and lead, why they are going instead of hydrogen? Even they are more reactive than hydrogen in the reactivity series, but still they are approaching to the cathode. The reason is high concentration of these metal ions.